Good day to everyone, to the panelists, to Mr. Pantalita, and to all the members who attended this conference. We are the Group 3 of 12STEMB11 and we are here to present our research entitled The Satisfaction of the Grade 11 and 12 Senior High School Students of the Technological Institute of the Philippines in using the Economized Tutoring website. The members who are present are Asilo, Asas, Atienza, Daweg, Lagman, Melendres, Natividad, Paner, Rife, Rivera, and Santos. And to officially start this conference, may I call on Mr. Natividad and Mr. Santos for Chapter 1, The Problem and its Background.
With the coronavirus disease pandemic, the role of technology in learning has dramatically increased. Though we are in a community quarantine, some economic activities are still ongoing and will resume eventually. Although there are obvious cost savings associated with e-learning, common criticisms include non-engaging content, a static interface, and a lack of interactivity. As a result, some businesses have concluded that online training is inferior to face-to-face learning. Because of the internet, educational content can now be found all over the world. Online learning makes use of devices such as cell phones, tablets, laptop computers, and desktop computers. Open and distance learning aids in the resolution of problems encountered in traditional classes. Traditional or physical tutoring is still an expensive form of learning. We can now connect more students with a single tutor at a lower cost thanks to the advances in technology. Next.
Recent studies show online learning is equally successful as face-to-face classes. It shows that students participate in the online setting have higher grades than the one who attend traditional setting classes. But on online learning, they're allowed to have open notes while taking quizzes and assignments, unlike in traditional setting. So it does not imply that online students learn more. Students still choose online learning rather than the traditional setting. Others say it's more convenient and easier for them, but others say that they heard a lot about it and try it out for themselves. In conclusion, tutoring and traditional learning is more convenient because the tutor only focuses on having one-on-one discussion with the student. They learn a lot easier, but it's a lot expensive. But due to the evolution of technologies, it is more convenient and easy on online platforms and a lot cheaper than traditional tutoring. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Natividad and Mr. Santos. Now we have Ms. Melendres for research objectives.
Research objectives. This research seeks to examine the satisfaction level of the senior high school students in the Technological Institute of the Philippines in the tutoring website of Canonized. This research also aims to investigate if the Canonized tutoring website is credible and effective to distinguish its strengths and weaknesses.
Again, we have Ms. Melendres for statement of the problem.
Statement of the problem. The study aims to determine the satisfaction difference of the Canonized website as a tutoring website of the grade 11 and senior high school students of the Technological Institute of the Philippines in Quezon City. Specifically, the study also aims to answer the following questions. What is the demographic profile of the students? What is the satisfaction level of the senior high school students in using the Canonized website? What is the significant difference between the satisfaction of grade 11 students to the satisfaction of grade 12 students using the Canonized website? Next.
Thank you, Ms. Melendres. For scope and delimitation, scope includes all the currently enrolled senior high school students from the Technological Institute of the Philippines, Quezon City, from grade 11 and 12 students. Students from various schools outside of the Technological Institute of the Philippines Senior High School, teachers, and staff are the study's delimitations. College students who attend the same school as the senior high school students will also be excluded from the study. For the significance of the study, we have Ms. Daweg.
The justification of importance and the impact of our study on the comparison of satisfaction levels of senior high school of Technological Institute of the Philippines, Quezon City is stated in this part. The study's findings will redound to the benefits of the student studies. The direct recipient of the output of this research are students that are having hard time keeping up on their online classes. The outcome of the effectiveness of this study can set the scene for better learning and the focus of the student efficiently. The student tutors. This study will be beneficial to the senior high school and college tutors, as through this research, tutors may purposely discover a new way of having an extra income while also developing the skills to manage and plan learning experiences, work in association, and also give and receive responses. The school. The outcome of this study can be beneficial to the school to avail and use as the inspiration of the study came from the Canvas website. The future researchers. The research outcome benefits the future researchers and may be used as a review of related literature and the basis on a new study in online tutoring that will arise. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Daweg. For hypothesis, we have Mr. Asas.
Hypothesis: the researchers implemented the following hypotheses regarding satisfaction level of randomized as tutoring website to the senior high school student of the Technological Institute of the Philippines using proper statistical analysis on the empirical data gathered in the student. Hypothesis 1: there is no significant relationship between Canonized as a tutoring website to the satisfaction of the senior high school student of the Senior of Technological Institute of the Philippines in Quezon City. Next.
Moving on, Chapter 2, Conceptual Framework Review of Related Literatures and Studies. For the first team, we have Mr. Rife.
E-learning is another instrument and a new learning climate. It additionally defeats the constraints of traditional instructing conditions. As mentioned by Tanin Su, 2018, the intensive development of digital technologies poses new challenges for the education system to create a flexible digital educational environment and actively use online courses hosted on various platforms. Hotel Fisher 2017, Ron Nicholson et al. 2017. According to Wei and Chu, 2016, it was found that the students' computer internet self-efficacy for online learning readiness had mediated effect not only on online learning perceptions and only discussion score but also on online learning perception and course satisfaction. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Rife. Now we have Mr. Asilo.
Satisfaction level in online learning. Student satisfaction is an important indicator of how well learning experiences are delivered, as stated by Moore and Kirsty in 1996 and Yutzel and Yildirim 2008. As mentioned by Amer 2012, students are more satisfied if it is more user-friendly, secure, easy to use, and visibly attractive to users. This demonstrates that as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the students are rapidly adapting to the new learning system. Lee and Medlinger 2011 stated that many studies have found student satisfaction and appreciation for online education. According to Davis 2011, the two main factors influencing users' acceptance behaviors are perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Asilo. Now we have Mr. Santos.
Online tutoring simplifies process tutoring and motivates the students since technology is the focal part of their life. As mentioned by Arts et al. 2009, learning analytics to support and enhance the learning process of a student and to know similarities between the website and high presence of neoliberal ideology. But one of the challenges of tutoring online without video is interfacing with the faceless. It's difficult for the teachers not to be able to see their students and not knowing what they are doing in the time of school. Students have their freedom to do what they want if their teachers can see them. This theme shows the difference between online and traditional learning and why the students feel more comfortable with having tutor rather than attending classes. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Santos. Now we have Mr. Atienza.
Satisfactional level on tutoring website. Education system is the present utilize online learning more. This includes higher education. Online learning systems known as online tutorials become a major requirement in implementing the learning process. Online tutorial, this is expected, have an enhancement of the students' learning outcomes. E-learning as a representative of a modern education, more critical factors need to be evaluated before, during, and after adoption of e-learning. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Atienza. Now we have Ms. Lagman.
Satisfaction of the students in using Canvas as an effective student learning website. To cope with the situation during the global pandemic, we use online for daily activities, work, studies of people. Burak and Thompson 2021 stated that throughout educational institutions, programmatic and structural evaluation programs have grown and developed over time. The Canvas is an e-learning platform that enables students and teachers can effectively communicate. Fernandez and others 2016 stated that in this paper, different academic indicators have been defined that can be obtained from the data generated by the Canvas LMS. These indicators can be extracted from the other e-learning platforms. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Lagman. For conceptual framework, we have Ms. Rivera and Mr. Atienza.
The figure shows the conceptual framework using the input process output or IPO model of the project that specifies the project's flow. This project created for the purpose of using canonized tutoring website and determine the satisfaction of the senior high school students. The researchers will create the canonized website which may include data, text, image, sounds, and animations. Within the second phase of the illustration, which shows the project's process, searching for eligible students tutors is also a part of the process. They are the ones who may well respond to questions among students who need assistance with their academic activities.
Last is the output. The satisfaction of the grade 11 and 12 senior high school students of Technological Institute of the Philippines is using the Canonized Tutoring website. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Rivera and Mr. Atienza. For the last chapter, Chapter 3, Methodology. For research design, we have Mr. Asas and Mr. Santos.
A comparative research design compares two groups in order to reach a conclusion. Researchers identify and analyzes the similarities and differences between the two groups, and these studies are typically cross-national in nature, comparing two distinct people groups.
Also, a comparative type of quantitative research will be used since a researcher will be focusing on the differences of the students' satisfaction level on using Canvas app and as website tutoring, since it emphasizes the distinction between the two variables.
We have independent variable, the satisfaction of the students, and the dependent variable, tutoring website. With the help of a survey that includes validated questionnaires, this study will determine the differences in satisfaction of grade 11 and 12 senior high school students. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Santos and Mr. Asas. For research subject, we have Mr. Asilo.
Research subject. The respondents are composed of grade 11 and 12 STEM ABM senior school students that are studying in the Technological Institute of the Philippines in TIP, Quezon City. The total estimation of the demographic of senior high school students is 4,200, with the combined total students from the STEM, UMS, ABM, and Marine Strand. From this population, the researchers employed cluster random sampling in selecting the respondents. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Asilo. For research local, we have Mr. Rife.
Research local. A study will be conducted at the Technological Institute of the Philippines, Quezon City, located at 938 Aurora Boulevard, Cubao, Quezon City. The respondents would be surveyed virtually using online devices due to the current situation caused by the pandemic. As a result, they may enter data or responses from the convenience of their own homes or any other location the respondent chooses. The study will take place from February to May 2021 for a total of 4 months during the academic year 2020 to 2021. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Rife. Now we have Ms. Lagman for research instruments.
Research instruments. A survey questionnaire is the main instrument for this study. It is researchers made since the questions that will be used are composed by the researchers. The survey will be used to determine the satisfaction of the grade 11 and 12 senior high school students of the Technological Institute of the Philippines in using Canonized tutoring website. To check the validity and reliability of the questionnaires, the researchers will consult a research teacher regarding the survey questionnaires to obtain relevant information in the most reliable and valid manner. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Lagman. Data gathering procedure. The respondents are the grade 11 and 12 senior high school students of Technological Institute of the Philippines, Quezon City. The instrument that the study will be using is a survey questionnaire that the researchers have made. The sampling method will be random sampling, and a total of 300 respondents will be needed for this study survey. Since we have a new normal setup, the survey will be conducted through Google Forms. After the data gathering, all the data will be collected for tallying scores and to apply the statistical treatment to be used in this study. For cross-analysis, we have Mr. Natividad.
The cost and analysis is a list of all the components used in making the website. It all indicates each needed cost, recurrence, and the total cost of all the procedures. Our project's cost is determined by the cost of developing a website. Registration of a domain name is the first step in creating a website. The act of reserving a name on the internet for a specific period of time, usually 1 year. This will cost us 1,000 pesos per year in the Philippines. Second is web hosting. Web hosting makes the files that make up a website, including code, images, and so on, that are available for online viewing. This will cost us 9,000 pesos per year, depending on the company that will rent out their services and technologies to host our website on the internet. The miscellaneous will also cost us of 5,000 pesos, which is the estimated total of 15,000 pesos per year. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Natividad. Now we have Ms. Daweg for schematic diagram.
The schematic diagram of the website consists of the following. Homepage. The main web page of the website Canamize. This contains the logo, navigation, headline, CTA, social proof, text, context, footer, and bonus features. Under it are the web pages, which are the general announcement page, course page, user page, group page, and calendar page. Under the general announcement page are the school announcement and course announcement. The course page features the course discussion and course subjects. Under course subjects are modules and lessons, shared resources, integrated learning materials, and web conferencing tool, which features the recording and uploading of audio and video. Next is the user page, which features customizable user profile, grades or analytics of improvement. Group page, which consists of the classmates and groupmates which you can view, and the chat page. Last but not the least is the calendar page, which features the course notification. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Daweg. And last but not the least, we have Ms. Rivera for statistical treatment.
Table 1 shows the interpretation of grade 11 students' satisfaction when it comes to the Canonized tutoring website. Maximum scale 5 ranges 4.6 to 5.0 students, which means strongly agree. And minimum scale on scale 1, students' ratings range from 0.6 to 1.5, indicating strong disagreement. Next. Table 2 depicts the results of a survey of grade 12 student satisfaction with the Canonized tutoring website. Maximum scale 5 ranges 4.20 to 5.0 students, which means strongly agree. On a scale of 1, students' ratings range from 1.0 to 1.79, indicating strong disagreement. Next. In Table 3 presents the scoring procedure and its interpretation. A total score of 41 to 50 interprets that the students are extremely satisfied. Students are dissatisfied as can be seen by the total of 1 to 10. Next. For each variable in the analysis, various mathematical formulas were used to analyze the results. Table 4 presents the analysis of variables. Students in grade 11 and grade 12 are analyzed as average or mean. Next. Since the study's goal is to determine the relationship between two variables, the parametric test, persons R correlation is used. However, this test will only calculate the linear relationship. The following formula is used to calculate the persons R correlation, where R is equal to persons R correlation coefficient between X and Y. N is equal to number of observation. x is equal to value of x, and y is equal to value of y. Next. Table 5 shows the interpretation of persons R correlation. The absolute value of the coefficient greater than 0.96 shows an extremely strong correlation. The absolute value of the coefficient is less than zero point 0.2, indicating that the correlation has no association. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Rivera. And to end this conference, we would like to express our gratitude for the time that you've allotted until you reach the end of this presentation. If you have any if you have any concerns or inquiries regarding the topic presented, you could contact us at qknpanner@dip.edu.ph. Thank you for listening and have a good day.